Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you have joined me tonight for this class, Simple and Effective Remedies for Your Skin. I'm Erleen Tilton. I'm really glad to be able to share this information with you. So make sure you grab a pen and paper and be prepared to make some screenshots because we have a lot of great information to share tonight. So first, your skin is your largest organ. Do you know what you are applying on your skin? I think this is an important question to ask because there are so many products on the market that contain chemicals that really negatively affect not only your skin, but your emotions, your mood, your hormones, your overall health. And we don't realize sometimes that this can be a root cause. So anything that you apply on your skin is really, really important. Why doTERRA essential oils are the solution is because, first of all, they are safe, they are natural, and there's great benefits without side effects, and they have pure extracts from plants with amazing benefits. And I love the doTERRA CPTG model because they go to the ends of the earth to make sure that they are certified pure. They are tested in a number of ways to make sure that they are top purity and potency. Number two, they are effective. And they actually can address the root causes simply because essential oils are lipophilic and can actually permeate the cellular membrane, which is to me really huge because we want them to go to the cellular level. Number three, they are affordable. With $6.5 trillion spent on healthcare globally annually, that number is just staggering to me. And our essential oils are basically just pennies per dose because you only use 1 or 2 drops per application. So let me share some of the favorite things that I have learned about skin health and how you might be able to benefit too. So first of all, I am going to share with you some examples of effective DIYs. The first 3 are products that I've actually made pretty much myself. And I've used this recipe for a number of years, and I've given it out to hundreds of people, this skin sun protection oil, and it works amazingly well. And I've actually tested it out on my redheaded grandchildren. So years ago, we were going to play in the afternoon, picnicking out in the sun and playing in the water. And so I actually made some of this up pretty much and slathered it on them before we went out in the sun. And we were out there much longer than I had anticipated. And as we were coming back out, I noticed that they were a little pink. And I thought, oh no, mom's going to kill me. So I actually put this on again. And actually by the next day, they were not even the slightest pink. So this really helped me understand how effective this was. And I've used this in a number of ways. So make sure that you do take a screenshot of this recipe because you'll want to have it. But just so you know, doTERRA, they are coming out with doTERRA Sun. Now, I'm really excited about this too, because actually I've looked at the ingredients. I feel like they're a cleaner product that I could actually recommend. So there's 4 amazing products. The first one on the left is face and body lotion. Then we have the face and body stick. Then we have the body spritzer, actually. So you could apply sunscreen in 3 different ways. So the orange ones are before the sun. The white one is an after sun spritzer. So if you're getting a little bit too pink out in the sun, then they have you covered. So that's very, very exciting as well. The second product that I've really, really enjoyed is what I call Bug Be Gone. And actually, this is nothing more than just TerraShield that I've put in a spritzer bottle. Super simple, right? Actually, it goes a long ways when you do it this way And I found it to be very, very effective. I love spritzing it on, but just doing the TerraShield works as well. And I like it in the water. Now, doTERRA has come out with the TerraShield spritzer as well. It is in an oil base. So if you like the oil base, then use the pre-made one that doTERRA has. If you like it in the water, or you just even have the TerraShield, all of them can work for you. The third product is what I call hand, air, throat spritzer. Now, it is just basically On Guard, another simple spritzer that you can make. And you can even do this into a 15 ml spritzer bottle, which is just your essential oil bottle with a spritzer top that you can get anywhere. So just adding 6 drops of On Guard essential oil to that, or that bottle that I'm showing here is actually a 1-ounce bottle. So I doubled that recipe, but actually you can carry it wherever you go. You can spritz your hands to sanitize, spritz it in your mouth to freshen, or on your throat, spritz it in the air to dispel the odors. And it's super effective. But again, doTERRA has come out with the On Guard spritzer as well. And there's one advantage to this one, is that it has the alcohol content, which is basically what the FDA requires to deem an effective spritzer. However, I have found that I like my other little one to carry in my handbag for a lot of other reasons. I can actually spritz in my mouth and spritz it in the air a little bit better. I don't know. It's great to have any one of these. So just know that these are options. So let's talk about maybe some everyday challenges that we all might be having with our skin, because doTERRA has a lot of solutions, and I'm really excited about some of the things that we can actually do for our skin that we might not know about. First one is abrasions and sores. So I think the first thing to remember when we have any type of abrasion, sore, or cut is to grab our On Guard foaming hand wash. Now, we do have the Abode foaming hand wash as well that we can use, but we need to make sure that we are cleaning an open wound effectively. And this is what I really love about the foaming hand washes, either On Guard or Abode, that we have, because I feel like they are some of the best ever that's out there, and they're safe for your skin. So tea tree is a great oil. We call it first aid in the bottle. Very good as more of your antiseptic. Lavender is good for calming, and many times cuts and abrasions and sores need a little bit of calming. I remember my sister, when she had young children, her daughter fell down and she went and grabbed the aspirin. I'm going, what are you doing that for? And she says, well, she's in pain. And so, okay, if you're one of those moms, grab the lavender too every time. So frankincense is another great oil to apply just topically. And like I said, we're just dotting these oils on, but frankincense is good for any type of cut or abrasion or sores. And helichrysum, remember, helichrysum is for healing. So can't go wrong with that. It's great to add with, or when we need that healing action to take place. Now, then we have CorrectX. This is better than any type of antibiotic salve or ointment out there. It's just an excellent product to make sure that you have always with you. Very, very effective. And it's in a base of non-petroleum. And I looked for that when it came out. I was so excited that it was non-petroleum. And it's got the frankincense, the helichrysum, tea tree, maybe even lavender. I don't know. It's got your power oils that are really good for an effective ointment. Now, I showed this picture. Now, just so you know, this came from a good friend of mine. This is her husband. And these are the pictures that actually got me thrown off of Facebook. So just so you know. Anyway, I guess it was a little graphic in their opinion, but you can see on the left side, this was actually after a skin cancer removal. And she took pictures along the way. The picture on the right was 2 weeks after this. And all she did was add frankincense. She said, I just put a drop right down into that hole. And in 2 weeks, look at the healing. It was amazing. She just was so amazed at how well that did. And I thought it was awesome too. And I thought I would share it with the world, but they didn't like what I shared. So anyway. All right. Bleeding, nosebleeds, cuts, or split skin. Helichrysum is our best go-to. And I say every home should have this oil because it is so important as a first thing to grab when you have any type of bleeding. So several stories I could share on this. My granddaughter fell, cut her head open for the 3rd time in 2 months. And my daughter called me just in tears. I don't want to go to the emergency room for the 3rd time. And so I said, do you have helichrysum? Yes, she went and grabbed the helichrysum, just dotted on a couple of times. And she was so happy to see that it pulled the cut together. It stopped the bleeding. It pulled the cut together. And there's scarring. There was no scarring like the first 2 times that she got sewed up. And best of all, she said it only cost her maybe $2 for this rather than going to the emergency room and using that almost $1,000 deductible twice. So she was very excited to see that this worked so well. And I had a class this last week and the lady said, wow, but it's $80. And I said, yeah, but it saved her $1,000. So it only cost $2 for what she needed it for. So my sister also came to my home and she had a nosebleed that just would not stop. In fact, she was kind of perched over the back of her car for about 15 minutes. I was wondering why she didn't come in. Anyway, just applying the helichrysum on both sides of her nose after she had been bleeding for 15 minutes standing there. I just added that on and literally within 20 seconds, her nosebleed stopped. So it's a really, really important oil to make sure that you have for bleeding. And we always have times where we have bleeding. Swelling, bumps, bruises. So lemongrass. I remember my husband got banged up from an ATV accident and I put that lemongrass all over his knee. It was so swollen he couldn't walk. And it was almost like you could just watch the swelling go down. It worked so fast. So just remember lemongrass for swelling, actually helichrysum as well. I had a friend that actually her sons were wrestling on the floor and one kicked the other and the other one got a goose egg and on his head. And so she applied the helichrysum really quickly. And she says it was amazing how fast that came down. So very good things to make sure that you do have on hand. Lavender is also very calming. It's really good for bruises as well as frankincense. So just know that we have these tools. Make sure that you have these oils handy. Now, pain is a completely different subject, and I wasn't even going to put this slide in, but because we have a lot of topical pain, I would just mention some of the things that will work for that. Definitely lavender is calming. Frankincense, good for anything, but we've got the deep blue and many of our deep blue products, the copaiba. Both of those roll-ons are very, very good for any type of topical pain, but also our deep blue stick that has the copaiba in it. And again, these are really good for any type of topical skin pain issues. Okay, so we've got stings and bites. First of all, talk about prevention. We have our TerraShield blend. I love that blend, very good. It's not stinky, it's not sticky like most of those insect repellents are. And that's why I've created this Bug Be Gone formula, and we have the TerraShield spray. We talked about that already. These are our real go-tos for prevention. So if we do get stung or bitten, and sometimes we do, one of the first things I always grab is Purify. And this is a great blend. It's good for purifying the air, but it's also really good for topical use on any sting or bite. I've ant bites, any type of bee stings, wasps, whatever it is, Purify works really good. Lavender is calming, but the basil is also another good one. I remember my granddaughter came in, she had been bitten by ants or bugs or whatever. And so we did both the Purify and basil, and she felt like the basil actually worked better. So sometimes that does. And you just have to kind of try it out. And sometimes all three, I just apply all three so that I make sure that something is working, and it does. Rashes. So just keep in mind that a rash is an indication that your skin is detoxing. So if there's any type of a rash going on, many times it can be a food sensitivity, or it can be something that's going on with your body. Maybe you're simply just not drinking enough water and lemon. That's a real important factor. But I have found any type of rash that's going on internally, take the Zendocrine complex. That is really an important product for cleansing your liver, or even do the 30-day cleanse and restore program. That's another very effective tool that we have. But topically on your skin, HD Clear is definitely a great one. And I always say it's kind of the tea tree blend, really good for any type of skin condition. You could use straight tea tree as well, if you would like. But then lavender is also really good for any type of rash on your skin. You can apply topically. And let me tell you a little bit about the Rose Touch. My daughter just had a new baby, and she was only about a month old, and she broke out with this terrible rash all over the front of her, all over the back of her. And she wasn't sure what to do. She called me, and, we talked about different things. And so she decided to try the Rose Touch. And actually, that was something that she came up on her own. So what she did was she applied it only on her baby's back. And in the morning, lo and behold, it was all gone on her back. It was still on her tummy and on her chest, but it was all gone on the back. So she knew that the Rose really made a difference. It really was helpful. So very, very effective there. However, she did find out that her daughter had an allergy to dairy. So my daughter was nursing her, and she quit any type of dairy products, and her daughter's skin just cleared up. But initially, the Rose Touch was really, really beneficial, and it really is good. So another thing that I have found is super, super effective is the Skin Sun Protection Oil. It really does work for any type of rashes, especially diaper rash. I've seen my daughters use this and find great success. So you remember it has mostly lavender. It does have helichrysum, or so if you have that recipe, hopefully you took a screenshot of it, because it's very, very helpful for rashes. So troubled skin oftentimes is really a hormonal issue. So we want to make sure that maybe first and foremost, we're addressing the root cause, which might be hormonal. I have found this specific to be for teenagers. When do they break out? Well, when they're going through that change, it's in their early teens, and it's normally a hormonal issue. And that's when a lot of women are breaking out as well, when they have our hormonal changes going on in their bodies. So two great internal products that you can take is the Zendocrine complex, especially for those teens, and phytoestrogen more as you grow older, but even teens can take the phytoestrogen, and it can be very beneficial. We do have our HD Clear program. You can see it has the lotion. In the middle is the essential oil blend, and then on the right of the HD Clear set is actually the foaming soap for cleansing your face. This is a very good, effective program. Now, Clary Calm, good again for hormonal issues. Rose Touch, also a very good one for troubled skin, Tea Tree and Correct-X. Now, I have found that moms, I see them spending $700 on these formulas for their kids from a dermatologist. And I have found that the HD Clear Set plus the Zendocrine is super, super effective. And if you want it even more effective, add the Correct-X, and all of that is under $100. So if you want to save money and want to help others save money when it's more of those troubled skin issues, look at some of these formulas, because like I said, the HD Clear, the Zendocrine, and the Correct-X are phenomenal. And again, way cheaper for these types of areas. Burns, sunburns, and friction burns. Lavender is definitely our number one go-to. Helichrysum as well. And then in the blend, that's what the sun skin protection is for. Really, really good for not only prevention, but also for anytime you do have a burn, go to any one of these. If it's more sensitive skin, the sun skin protection is actually diluted. So that's something that you can do. Or I have seen some sunburns, I've just done straight lavender because it, was so bad. So it really depends. Sometimes that is too strong for your skin, and that's where you would want to dilute it. And you can do the lavender touch or put it in a spritzer or use the skin sun protection oil. Warts, moles, tags, sunspots. So I've had several people that have had issues with these types of things and had found great success. Now, my daughter actually had something developing on her cheekbone that just didn't look quite right. She said it's more of a sunspot, but it's growing and I don't like the way it looks. So she started with frankincense and applied Immortelle on top of it. And she did that several times a day. And actually around the 5th day, I think she said, as she was washing her face, it just rolled off. And it only took a few days. So, but she was very consistent and she was putting it on several times a day. So that was kind of exciting. Now, when it comes to warts, sometimes it's straight oregano, but you have to get that toothpick in that oregano and put the point of the toothpick right on your wart. You don't want to do it around there. You don't want to, anyway, you just know that oregano is really a hot oil and it will burn the skin around it. So it's best to get that toothpick and put it right on the top of that wart. Sometimes it works better to combine frankincense with it. Sometimes it's better to combine tea tree with it. So there's several things to try for those. Now that is basically about the same with your moles and your skin tags too. Start with the oregano. And if it doesn't work, maybe start with the oregano and the frankincense. Sunspots too, like my daughter said, worked really well with the Immortelle and the frankincense. So what do you do for cold sores and canker sores? My first go-to is tea tree, but if it's a little bit bigger of a cold sore, I will go to the Melissa. Melissa seems to have a little bit more of a kick, but I have found that really need to get to the root of the problem, which is in your gut. This is why our PB Assist is super, super important, or the PB Assist Junior. And I have a tendency to have cold sores, and I have found that another product that I can't live without and is super, super important for any type of cold sores, especially, is L-lysine. Now, lysine is actually an amino acid, and it's kind of the yin and yang with arginine. Arginine is another amino acid. If you eat a lot of nuts and nut butters and coconut, carob, chocolate on a daily basis, actually the arginine helps that bacteria in your gut proliferate and can actually create those cold sores. So lysine is kind of the opposite. if you take the lysine, it will counteract the arginine. So like I said, we need arginine, and it's a really important amino acid, but we also need the lysine. And so if you eat a lot of nuts, nut butters, coconut, and you tend to get cold sores, make sure you're taking lysine, at least when you are eating a lot of those types of foods. So keep that going in your gut, keep the probiotics going in your gut, and then topically address that with either Melissa or tea tree. And canker sores, about the same thing. They really are much the same thing, and it's really, really helpful to make sure that you know what causes them. In addition to that, sun and stress can also do the same thing as far as cold sores and canker sores. Okay, sensitive skin. We want to make sure that we really address this for the children, for elderly, and any sensitive areas on your body, using our fractionated coconut oil with our oils in these cases, or that we are actually using doTERRA's line, which is the touch line. They are all diluted with our fractionated coconut oil. And that's what it's so easy to grab. Now, I remember probably about a year or two ago, I could feel an earache coming on, and I started applying Melaleuca or tea tree around my ear, and doing that several times during the day. my ear started getting really raw. And so I ran and got the touched and did that, and that worked in the same way. So make sure that you're not over applying even oils that are okay straight on the skin. It's great to have the touch line so that we can have these in a diluted form, and can be great for our sensitive skin people as well as body areas. Now, here's a really important thing to remember. So our day oils normally switch when it comes to night, and our night oils usually switch when it comes to day. Now, what am I saying? So normally we think of our citrus oils in the day of drinking them because they give us energy, they're cleansing, they're purifying. We can add them to our water to increase our energy, but these oils are photosensitive, and you never want to use them topically as you go out in the sun, at least within 60 minutes before going into the sun. However, they are really, really good for applying to your skin at night. They're great for actually rejuvenating your skin, and they're ones that are very good at night. However, lavender, which we normally think of calming and relaxing at night, is really the one that we want to use in the day before we go out in the sun. So just keep these in mind, that our day oils could be best at night, and our night oils can be best at day when it comes to our skin. And that's just an important thing to remember when it comes to those oils. Last but not least, I'm going to just talk about our doTERRA body care and skincare. We have some amazing products for body care. I love our Yarrow Palm Nutritive Duo, and because I can apply it on my face and, you know, I take it, I always put a drop or two on my tongue. I love the taste of it, actually. But then the Yarrow Palm Body Serum, that is not for the face, it's for the rest of the body. It's very good for rejuvenating the skin. Remember, the skin is the largest organ, so we need to make sure we keep our skin healthy. We have our body scrub and our body butter. I love to get in my bath and do the body scrub and do it on my feet and my knees and my elbows and all around my arms, you know, because they're rough areas. And then follow up with the body butter at night. That is, I just love that. Now, I will say also, I love the Abode hand lotion. It is wonderful. So you buy it actually in this refill pack, and then you buy the dispenser and put it in there. And it's kind of in the middle of doTERRA's other lotions that are kind of light, and the body butter is really heavy. And this is kind of right in the middle. I absolutely love it. It's just excellent. And then we have our doTERRA facial skincare products. There are two different lines that doTERRA has. One is the essential skincare line, and you can see those are more on the left side, where our Virage skincare is on the right. Now, I love both of them. I think they're both excellent lines. The one on the right has more of your natural ingredients, but I feel like they're really, really excellent products to make sure that you have on hand. So the idea is getting these oils in your hands so that you are ready for anything. And I love the ability to have a keychain so that I can carry my oils wherever I am, because I've found that many times when you're out and about, you get a bump or bruise or maybe even a bee sting, and you want to have those oils handy. So it's nice to be able to get these oils and be able to carry them with you wherever you go, so you feel like you're always prepared. Bottom line is doTERRA has the solutions for your skin and your health. They are safe, they're effective, and they're affordable. So start where you can and just keep learning. So do we have any questions on anything that I shared here tonight?
I have a question.
Sure, absolutely.
In your slide with the new sunscreen, you said it's available June 1st. Didn't they move that out to mid-July, or is it back to June 1st?
Well, you know what? I don't have an answer for that. Does anybody know that?
Yeah, it's July.
Oh, so when is
Supply
it?
chain. Well, we don't know until we actually see it, but they said July. So it's a supply chain thing.
I missed that piece of information. So thank you for letting us know.
It says early July. They've resolved their issues and have new launch timeline set for early July, but we never
Okay.
know until we know.
That is great to know. Really great to know. Good, good. Thank you for asking that question, and so that we have that clarification. Okay. Anyone else have a question on anything we went over tonight?
I think one of the things with the sunspots or age spots or anything with our skin that we need to remember, it takes a while. Like, you're not going to see an immediate reaction unless it's like a rash or something like that. It may react quickly, but I haven't looked it up, but Erleen, doesn't the skin like have a cycle too? Like when it generates or whatever. So I think being consistent with our oils for things like that, like the ones you mentioned for sunspots or age spots, it takes a little bit and we have to be consistent and stay with it.
Absolutely. I think especially consistency is the biggest key, because even just like my daughter and that skin spot that she had, literally 5 days is all it took. And I remember her son actually had what did he have? I didn't even think about this as far as including this. What do you call on the bottom of their feet?
Planter's wart?
Planter's wart, yes. And so she started putting on every day, and literally it was within days. So I really think it depends on your body, your system, what really is going on. But I think, like you said, Lane, don't expect it to happen overnight. And this is a really, really good point, because depends on what's going on in your body. It could take 5 days. It could take, a year or two or whatever. So just be patient with the process, but be consistent. That's huge.
Yeah, and it's really worth it, because they, whoever they are, say about even skin issues like from the sun or whatever, and who knows about all that, but they say it's from when you were, they'll tell people, oh, it's because when you were a teenager, you did this and now you have this. So look how long, so why not be proactive and do it now for whatever later. So yeah, that was great. Thank you. There's so many good tips and ways to use the oils for our skin.
Definitely. Well, hopefully you can take this information and hopefully you got some screenshots or something, but just have your oils. I just love the fact that we have essential oils for almost anything that we need. There's an oil for everything. Yes. And they can be right here at our fingertips. So make sure that you have them so that you can you have them on hand so that you can use them when you need them. All right. Okay. All right. Paola, do you have a question?
Well, I was just wanted to let you know that I use frankincense on my dog, little growth. He had the skin growth. And, you know, sometimes if you take them to the vet, they just want to put them down and then cut it. And instead, I apply 1 drop of frankincense for a while. Like it's been probably 2 weeks. And then it started to get black. And then eventually it fell off on its own. So you can even use it on your pet. They don't like the smell that much, but you know, that was luckily was towards the back. And so that was not really under his nose. I used before also some homeopathic because he had another one near the lip, and you know, I couldn't really put it was too close to the nose. So you can use it on your pet too.
You know, thank you so much for sharing that, because we can use most of the oils that we can use on humans, we can use on our pets. There's some exceptions, but the fact that you did that, that is awesome. Good for you. You tried it,
Yeah.
it worked, and that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes,
Yeah, sure.
absolutely. Good, good. All right. Any other questions or shares or comments? All right. Well, thank you everybody for being on. Hope you learned something. Hope you can share some of these things with your friends, and have a great evening.
Thanks, Erleen.
Thank you. Thank you so
Bye,
much
everyone.
for the info.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.